Hello everyone, I am Professor Monica Verma from the Department of Electronics and Communication RNTU Bhopal. In this section, we are going to learn about block reduction fundamentals and techniques. So before learning about the block reduction techniques, first we will learn what is block diagram. So block diagram is a representation, a graphical representation of a physical system which is used to illustrate the functional relationship among its elements. Okay, so since it is very inconvenient to get the transfer function of a complex control system, so therefore what we are doing is, instead of solving a complex block diagram, we are converting it into a small elements, and these small elements are known as blocks. Okay, now the blocks, a simple block is consist of three parts. One is the rectangle shaped block which contains the description of particular element. Then one is input function and another is output function. Now this interior rectangular shape consists of description. Okay, description of that particular block. Then either it can contain description, or it can contain name, or it can contain the mathematical operation by which you can use to produce input to get the desired output. Okay, now the signals, next we will talk about the signals. The signals are used to represent the flow of the information, or signal flow, or we can say feedback path. More explanation about this block, we can use a simple, we can see through a simple block which contain a differentiated value with respect to time. X is used as an input and Y is used as the output. Okay, now if we come through our daily life, we come across with the control system. In fact, we are surrounded by the control system. Each and everything we are using, like mobile phone, laptops, these are all comes under the control system. And this control system even have many subsystems. So in this lecture, first we will examine the subsystems, then we will go through the reduction technique. Okay, for this, suppose there is a control system which contain a controller, a plant and a feedback element. Okay, the controller will actuating the signal to the plant, then this plant will produce an output. Simultaneously, one copy of this output will go through the feedback path to the input so that the system get control. This is a process. Now explain this thing, understand this thing with the help of our daily process. For example, automobile. The automobile we are using in our daily life, or not using, we are seeing in our daily life. Automobile itself is a controlled system. Okay, but what we are talking about, subsystems. Okay, take an example of a car. A car is moving on road. It has two different things, two different condition or two different output. One is desired value and one is actual value. Desired path or actual path. Okay, so for understanding the subsystems of the car, take another example with the help of block diagram. We are taking a controller, then after that a steering wheel, then automobile. Controller means the driver who is driving the car. Driver controlling the steering wheel. Then with the help of steering wheel, automobile is moving. And simultaneously, what I said, in a control system, it at every point, one copy of output goes as a feedback path. Always. If it is not moving as a feedback path, then it is not a control system. Remember this thing. So, driver controlling the vehicle through the steering wheel, automobile is moving, and the sensing measurement flowing the one part of the output towards the input, and this signal is known as error signal because it is used to check the errors. Fine. Now I think you are comfortable with what is block diagram and what is control system. Now there are different components of the control system. Okay, so basically there are four components of the control system what we should know before reducing any block. First one is the signals. Signals is used to show the direction of the information. Second is system or block. Okay, system or block contain information, piece of information. Okay, third one is summing point, or it is known as junction, summing junction. and the fourth one is take off point or pick off point. Okay, now elaborating this particular, what we are seeing, elaborating these elements. So first is signal. Okay, signal basically represented with the help of RS and CS. Okay, RS is input signal, reference input, and CS is controlled output. Always input is shown as RS and output is shown as CS. Why S is using? We are using S because we are working in frequency domain. We know there are two type of domain. One is time domain and second is frequency domain. So when we talk about signal, we don't talk in time domain. We always work in frequency domain, that is Laplace transform. Okay. Even the signals which does not contain RS or CS, these are also known as signals. Even it will be a forward path or it will be a feedback path. Second is system or block. System or block contain information. Simply. Okay. Either it will be a form of GS or it will be form of HS. If we are taking GS, it means it is a forward path. If we are taking HS, it means it is a feedback path. Okay. Now, third what we have? Third element is summing point or summing junction. Summing point is used to merge the input signal and convert it into algebraic equation according to the characteristic of the input signal. Suppose we have three input signal, R1s, R2s and R3s. R1s and R2s with positive characteristic, whereas R3s is with negative characteristic. Okay. So what will be the sum? What will be the algebraic equation? CS equals to R1s plus R2s minus R3s. Okay. Summing point is not is summation of the signal. Summing point just produce an algebraic sum. Okay, according to their characteristic. Now fourth is takeoff point. Takeoff point simply breaks or separates the signal. Nothing. It just separates the signal. Now these are some important elements. Now we can come to reduction techniques. So there are some rules which you have to follow for reducing the complex block. Okay, we will go through the blocks one by one. Now their first is we have four elements. Okay, each element has its separate rule. We will go through the block. Our first element block. Okay. So if we are having three blocks in series, suppose G1, G2 and G3. Okay, G1 with output X2 equals to G1 into RS. Then G2 with output X1 equals to G2 into G1 into RS, and last G3 with the output CS, final output, equals to G1 into G2 into G3 into RS. Now these are three separate blocks and we want this into a simple form. So you have to do is just multiply the description given in each block if they are present in the series. So three blocks G1, G2, G3 together we can write G1 into G2 into G3. This is first rule. If you get three blocks in series, simply multiply whatever given in that particular block. Okay. Rule number 2. When these blocks are present in parallel. Okay. Now suppose these three blocks we have in parallel. G1, then G2, then G3. Okay, with their separate transfer function x1, x2, x3. Clear? Now what we have to do? If we have blocks in parallel, simply add them all. Whatever present in particular block, add them all. This time we are having G1, G2, G3. So our simplest form will be G1 plus G2 plus G3. Clear? These were the two rules for block or system. Now the third one is feedback system. Okay, we are talking about that control system always have a feedback path. So how we will solve a feedback path? Simple. There is a formula which we have to follow. Feedback path. Take one example. One you have summation in which you are giving RS input. Then another you are having a GS means forward block and output CS, and before getting output you have another feedback block HS. Okay, so it's simply you have to use the formula GS upon 1 plus minus GS HS. Not always you have to take GS only or HS only. This we are taking because in example we are having GS as a forward block and HS as a feedback block. See numerator, also denominator. Okay, in numerator always you will put a forward path, in denominator you will take 1 plus minus forward path into feedback path. So formula is created GS upon 1 plus minus GS HS. You can also see the derivation of this formula. It is very easy. Means when we are getting a part of a feedback as from the output, means a copy of a output, then it is represented with the help of ES. Okay, ES, how we can write ES? ES is a error signal. We can write ES as, where it is coming from? It is coming from output, and from where? From going, it is from H. So ES will be equals to RS minus HS into CS. Okay, now another we have a value of CS. What is the value of CS? CS is equals to RS into GS. Okay, now simply by putting the value of CS in previous equation, you will derive the formula by rearranging the equation, and finally you will get the formula what? GS upon 1 plus minus HS into GS. This was the concept of feedback block. Now these were the concept, three concepts of block only. Okay, now we are having a summation, summing point. Now we can move summing point either left of the block or right of the block. Okay, or we can say if summation is present before a block, we can put it after. If after a block, we can put it before. Two different rules for summation. Okay, so first rule, if we are moving a summing point to the front, if it is in before position, we are moving it in the after position. So simply multiply whatever contained in particular block. Okay, for example, you have a summation and you are having a GS block, nothing else, and you are moving this summation in front of GS block. So because you are passing GS block, just multiply GS with the signal. Clear? Same next rule, you are moving again the summing point from here to here, from front to back. So when you are going in reverse direction, simple divide whatever present in that particular block you are passing through. That's it. If you are moving this side, means front, multiply. If you are moving back side, divide. Okay? Only two rules for summing point. Again, what we have left? Takeoff point. So same two rules for takeoff point. Okay? Just reverse the rule of summing point and you will get the rule of takeoff point. In summing point, when we are moving towards, we are multiplying. In takeoff point, when you will move in forward, you will divide. In summing point, you are coming back, you divide. In takeoff point, when you are coming back, you will multiply. Just opposite, nothing much. Okay, so now we will have a quick review. Okay, what we have learned? Block, what is block diagram, what is control system, what are subsystems, what are the elements of the block, and what are the rules. Okay, now I think this should be more clear if you will solve a numerical. Now we are solving a numerical. Just see the block diagram given. The question is reduce the following equation or reduce the following block diagram from a complex one to a simple one. So what you are seeing in particular block diagram is there is 3 forward blocks, G1S, G2S, G3S, 3 feedback path. Okay, H1S, H2S, and 1 is unity feedback. Means if you are not having anything on particular signal, then it will be a unity feedback. Means the value of that particular line is 1. Now there is 2 summing points and 2 takeoff points. Now see clearly what is given in particular block diagram and then try to solve the block diagram. Now what you are seeing is that we can move the summing point from a position after the block G1s to the position before the block G1s. So what we will get? As per the rule, we will get H2 by G1, a new block. Now also remember, every time when you reduce a block, you have to draw another block diagram. Okay. Now next what we are seeing, G1 and G2, now they are in cascade mode. So simply multiply them. Okay. Follow the red mark which is constantly changing through the blocks. So when you will multiply the both blocks, you will get another output G1 and G2. Now again draw a new diagram with these changes. Next, how much things you left with the blocks? 2 forward block G1, G2 and G3. 3 feedback block H2 by G1. Next is H1 and next is unity feedback. 2 summing point and 1 takeoff point. Okay. Now next what you have to do is, you can change the summing point. If they are in cascade position, then you can interchange their signal. So as we do, we will interchange the signals of second and third summing point with each other. Then we will get a feedback path formed between the block G1, G2 and H1. After applying the feedback system formula as we learned in this session, we get the output G1, G2 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, H1. Now redraw the block. Now you have 2 forward blocks, G1, G2 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, H1 and G3. These 2 blocks are in cascade form again. Simply multiply them both. You will get another block G1, G2, G3 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, H1 with a feedback of H2 by G1. So simply use and again the feedback formula. Now next, before solving the feedback loop, always remember one thing, that you have to first solve the inner feedback loop, then you have to solve the outer feedback loop. Okay, it gets in the series. Now applying the formula, we will get the output G1, G2, G3 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2. Again redraw. Remember, at each point you have to redraw your block diagram. Okay. Now last, there is another last feedback, that is unity feedback. So apply this unity feedback formula with the present block. So output you will get G1, G2, G3 divided by 1 minus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3. So by following these simple steps, you have seen that you have reduced that particular complex block diagram to a simple one. Okay. So practice yourself. You can use your reference book B.S. Manke or Ko. Thank you.